everyone, this is Kiki and welcome to my channel. So today I'm going to be making a acrylic press on set, and the best part about it is it's going to be available for sale on my Etsy site. So right now I am working on some medium length almond nails, and right now I'm just prepping them for the acrylic process. And the best part about it is I don't have to prep anything. I don't have to add any primer. I personally don't add primer. Some other people do, but I just don't find it really necessary. I never had any issues with separation or anything like that. But right now I'm just pretty much roughing up the surface. You don't have to completely rough the whole nail up, but just kind of, get it a little bit rough so that way that acrylic can stick on there nicely. Alright, so now I'm going to be using two colors from Not Polished today. I'm going to be using from the mini collection, the yellow mamba. That's going to be the base color for this set. And I'm also going to be using Nude Me for the ombre, which you can see for that nail in the back. I already kind of did one nail, but this is how I pretty much did the application. And I really love Not Polished because their acrylic is just very buttery, it's very smooth. I love the fact that it doesn't run all over the place, and it's easier for me to just control and just be able to put the color on without, struggling with the application. Now, as you can see, I'm not adding that much acrylic on the nail, only because the nails are pretty short, so you don't want them to look bulky, because that gets on my nerves. I do not like bulky acrylic press on nails. You want them to look as natural as possible. So as you can see, I'm just working with really small beads just to get just the coverage, but I'm not actually like building the nail up too much with that color acrylic. And it's a pretty color. I actually really like the yellow. It looks a little darker outside from the camera. It's like a really deep yellow color. So I love it. And then I'm just going in with that Nude Me. As you can see, I'm staying below the cuticle line, and I'm just blending that down. Again, just making sure that I have good coverage, and it blends very smoothly. I absolutely love Not Polished products. So definitely going to be getting more when I get a little more funds. But as you can see, I'm staying below the cuticle, because if you start that bead all the way at the cuticle instead of below it and then blending it up, what happens is that it's going to be too bulky at the cuticle and it's not going to look flushed. So that's a little trick for anybody who's doing acrylic press on nails. Just make sure that you stay below the cuticle line and you'll get a natural looking set. Alright, so now I'm going to be using a white acrylic powder from Mia Secret, and I'm going to do like a ombre marble style. I kind of split a little bit there, but yeah, I'm going to be marbling those two colors together. So I was kind of struggling with this one, and it's my fault, but I ended up adding too much white acrylic to the marble. And so what happened was, as you can see, when I added that yellow, it made the yellow super pale. And so I was kind of struggling with like trying to get them to look separated but still kind of marbled. So yeah, I was just kind of just struggling with that, but it still came out cute. It didn't come out too bad. Alright, so now I'm just going to do the same thing like I did with the other nails, and I'm just going ahead and add the Nude Me. Again, staying below the cuticle so that way I'm not making it too bulky. Now, I am going to encapsulate this one only because the way the marble, the way I did the marble was that I kept going back and forth with the colors, and so it kind of got a little bit lumpy at the surface, just like slightly lumpy. So I'm gonna go ahead and use the Mia Secret Clear to just smooth that out. And also I don't want to fall into this design because it is a marble, so I'm not even going to build up the nude as much because it's just going to get encapsulated anyways. Alright, so now I'm about to get into my favorite part, which is the encapsulation. So I'm going to be encapsulating some flowers for the last two nails of my set. So I'm just grabbing some green leaves, some yellow flowers since the set is mainly yellow. And with the tweezers, I'm just carefully separating the leaves because like they are very, very fragile. And after I separate the leaves, I'm just gonna go ahead and also separate the little yellow flowers. They don't have to be whole pieces because I actually want them to kind of break up a little bit. And then I also got some fake printed flowers I'm gonna be using as well. That's the only thing that I had on hand. I didn't have any other sunflower designs, unfortunately, but these still worked very, very well. And all I'm gonna do now is just take the Mia Secret Clear, and you can see how muddy the monomer looks from that yellow acrylic, and it still works perfectly fine, so no big deal. So adding that little bit of thin acrylic, I'm just gonna go ahead and put on the leaves and put on the flowers. You don't want to put too much on the nail because again, this set is pretty short. So if you put too much on the nail, it is a lot more you're gonna have to encapsulate, which means more clear acrylic, and that could also make the nail too bulky. So I just went ahead and just added enough until I knew that I couldn't fit any more, and just back and forth I'm just adding very wet beads of acrylic and just putting the flowers where I can see them fit nicely at. Alright, so I end up having to do another take on showing y'all how I encapsulate the nail because on the last video I wasn't able to get that part. I don't know if it got deleted or something, or the camera wasn't rolling, but I'm just gonna go ahead and do another take. So this is another nail that I'm working on, and one thing you do have to be careful of is the leaves are dyed, so they will bleed a little bit. You can even see some of the green got onto the white flower, so I would just be careful not to move them around too much. But you can see I'm doing the same thing, just adding the little yellow flowers to wherever I see fit. And now I'm just gonna go ahead and encapsulate the whole thing. So this is how I pretty much do it. I just put a really big bead on there. Again, pretty much staying below the cuticle, even though I'm pushing the acrylic up a little bit. It's all right because the acrylic is wet, so I can always just, again, flush it down and just get that cuticle nice and thin without making it too bulky. And then all I'm doing is I'm just dragging the acrylic down, just covering the flowers, making sure everything is covered. Alright, so then the final process to this step is to go ahead and buff the nails. So as you can see, I'm using the 100 grit side, and this is like a hand file, but it's foam based and it's pretty much used to buff the nails and smooth out the surface. So if your application is pretty good, you could really just get away with just buffing the nail. But if you do need to kind of shape the nail a little bit more and break down the acrylic a little bit faster, then you could just go ahead and use a regular hand file, which I still end up using a regular hand file from certain areas of the nail, as you can see here, just to kind of reshape it and give it this nice shape back. But as you can see, all I really have to do is just buff the surface, and this was the ombre that I did not encapsulate. So that's what I meant by, if you do the ombre right, you really don't have to encapsulate it. Alright, so fortunately I wasn't able to show y'all how I applied the rhinestones, so I do apologize for that. That's because when I tried to upload the videos onto my computer, for some reason the rest of my videos were gone and I could not put them in this video, so I'm sorry about that. But I did use Mia Secret resin glue to put on the rhinestones, and I use A and B crystals, and I use these kind of like glass pearlescent circle rhinestones. You can pretty much get them off of Amazon. That's where I got them from. And after that, I top coated everything with some regular non-wipe gel top coat, and you can see how the set turned out. It turned out very, very beautiful. You can see the flowers inside the nails. It looks really dope. The ombre came out really nice. You could go to the link down below if you would like to get a set like this made with acrylic. You can also follow me on my 2 social media pages. You can follow me on Instagram at Kiki_PrettyNails23, or you can also follow me on Facebook, Kiki Pretty Nails LLC. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see y'all on my next video. Bye.